Hey guys, we're back. A little bit sooner than before, but thank you for all you got, everybody that is still here. Appreciate you. The purge continues. The the exit door still swings, and at least once per video we get somebody that completely flips their and goes all nutty. But you're gonna have that, so might as well just keep on keeping on. But with the last video that we did about the crystal books and stuff like that, somebody posted a comment that was very pertinent. And I think if I want people to actually have some success with this, that I should probably scoot this up to the forefront and get it out there. So you should know, if you've done, even if this subject matter has interested you and you've done any searching on your own, you see a whole bunch of stuff. It's like, well, you gotta clean them, and you gotta charge them, and you gotta program them, and you gotta do this, and you gotta do that. And some of it, you know, depending on what method they're talking about, can be a little bit hard to swallow. I don't swallow all of it. Some of it seems like, I don't really see it. Others, like, okay, yeah, that makes more sense to me. It just kind of depends on if it's going more toward, you know, the natural stuff, or if it's really delving deep into the woo-woo territory. Keep in mind, these things come out of the ground, and they have different effects on you. And just like, say we're not even talking about like quartz crystal necklaces or anything like that. You're talking about a radioactive rock. It's emitting a certain type of energy that's measurable, that does certain things. They're all like that. Everything is frequency and vibration. Everything's got their own little bit to it. The way this makes more sense to me is yet another subject that I used to not take much stock in at all. Just like I did not used to take any stock in any of this stuff. I thought it was silly. But I'm a Pisces. I'm totally right-brained. I have a very open mind. I've got a big imagination, and you know, anything is possible to me. I can at least entertain an idea and examine it for myself. So one of those other things was Reiki. If you haven't heard of Reiki, it's basically a modality of, let's just call it, a type of energy healing. It originated in Japan, came over to the United States sometime in the early 60s, and remains pretty popular today. I used to think it was silly. I didn't really even understand what it was. But I have friends that are convincing, and it kept kind of like bugging me. It's like, just go take a class. Just go take a class. See it for yourself. Try it out. So, okay, you know, I haven't taken a class in a long time. So last week I went and took my Reiki 1 class, and it explained a lot of stuff to me. It's like, oh, okay, so that's what that is. The whole first half of the class was almost like scientific. Now, it's not going to be scientific to people that are just like really mainstream textbook. This is what they teach in school. But scientific in terms of this is what's been around in cultures throughout the world for thousands of years. Just because your high school textbook doesn't have it doesn't mean it's not widely accepted. And that is, you have a physical body, you have an energetic body. The energetic body has multiple layers to it. I can't really, off the top of my head, explain them all to you, but whenever you see like diagrams of auras and stuff like that, there's all these different layers. That's what it talks about. The different crystals interact in different ways with that energy body. Since we're talking about that, you want to do kind of a little experiment that's fun. You know, you hear about people seeing auras, and people see auras in different ways. You know, the really lucky people, they see like the colors and all that stuff. It's like, man, I wish I could do that. I wish I could do that. But it is relatively easy to train your eyes to be able to see at least one layer. And no one's ever told me that's what this layer is, but from my class, I know that the closest layer is called the etheric layer. That's like where your blueprint is. And that's kind of like a clear white layer. And you can really easily train yourself to see that. it's best to do it like in a dark room, you know, dark walls and stuff like that, and just hold your hand up. And it's almost like those 3D pictures, you know, that looks like a whole bunch of jumbled mess, but when you know, cross your eyes just the right way, suddenly this 3D image jumps out. It's kind of like that. So you're not going to look at your hand, you're going to like relax your eyes and look past your hand. And you should start to see, when you relax just right, kind of like this whitish kind of like halo around your hands. And then the other one I think is really easy in the same environment. So it's dim, it's dark. This is the one that I like. And that is just put your fingers together like this. And just, I'm getting able to see it really good. So hold it in front of you and then pull your freaking fingers apart. And you'll see like these white bands stretching out between your fingers, and that's what it looks like. So once you see that, you kind of have an idea of what you're looking for when you're doing the whole look past your hand sort of thing, and over time it just gets easier and easier and easier. Anyway, we went off on a tangent there. The main topic that I want to talk about today, because I want people to be successful, is the easiest, simplest way to clear and charge whatever rocks you're working with that does not involve you having to believe in anything or do any kind of witchcraft mumbo jumbo. I'm sorry, I'm getting really fed up with people pushing that stuff, you know, saying we're worshiping false idols because we're examining things that come out of the ground that have interesting effects. I've never prayed to a rock. I swear to God I haven't. Anyway, the easiest possible way. Now, I kind of came up with this on my own, taking what is already out there. And we've talked about it before. And that is selenite. You've seen it in other videos. Selenite is a very inexpensive crystal. Looks like this. It's fragile. You don't want to get it wet. It was very high vibration. It's self-cleaning. You don't have to do anything to rid this of any kind of accumulated stuff from people handling it or anything like that. And what's interesting about selenite is selenite will also clear other stones of any kind of picked up energy and charge them as well. So I was thinking, as I was reading that when I was studying a couple weeks ago, I was like, I saw something in a gift shop. It gives me an idea. It was this. And I've got several of them now. You can find them on Etsy. You can find them on eBay. If you're in Columbus, which I know some of you are, you can find them at Tropical Trends. I don't know where the one is on the west side, but the one near me is at Stone Ridge Plaza. And I don't know if they've closed the one in Polaris Mall yet or not, but I heard they're going to. The Something Good shop in Westerville also has them. But you can find them on the internet relatively easy. One like this might cost you anywhere from $15 to $20. This is your simplest, easiest way to clean and charge your stones. So you buy all stuff at the gift shop that everybody's had their negative hands all over, and you get it and you're like, I don't feel anything. This is stupid. Well, let's get them to the right spot first and then start playing with them. So a couple different things that I do. So because this is a selenite candle holder, it's basically got a hole in it. It's got a dish. It's got a place where you can put your rocks. The bigger the rock, the more zap you're going to get from it. So this is a pretty good hunk of selenite. This has definitely got some kick to it. So let's just say, for instance, we got a couple tumblestones here. But what I do differently is we take into consideration the many aspects of clear quartz. Say what you want about clear quartz, but our entire freaking electronic technological age is basically built on clear quartz and what clear quartz can do. So this is just, You know, I like the pyramid shape. You know, there's a whole lot of stuff that goes into the whole pyramid shape. I found this on Amazon, like a 9-pack of these little tiny white quartz pyramids. Quartz will amplify the energy of any other stones that they're paired with. So what I thought was, I'll take one of these little quartz pyramids, I will drop it in the selenite. So that is just making this whole process work better. And then let's say you pick up some tumble stones. Say you're interested in luck, prosperity, abundance, that sort of thing. You'll go do your research, and you'll find the big one is green aventurine, followed by citrine. And then there's a couple other ones like pyrite, and I think that's tree agate. So let's say you want to try and boost that little area of your life or whatnot. So I don't do a lot of this. I don't do a lot of carrying the tumble stones. I'm more about building specific pendant combinations and wearing those around. But you know, this could work too. So you get these from the store, and you want them to work as good as possible. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your selenite candle holder with a little piece of white quartz, and it doesn't have to be a big pyramid. You can just get a little, I mean, white quartz little tiny points are like a dime a dozen. You can get big freaking bags of them on eBay or Amazon or Etsy, or just all over the freaking place. They're easy to find. Just get a couple little ones and throw them in there. You just take your stones, place them in there. I always believe that combining multiple known methods is always best. So right here I've combined 2 known methods. I've combined the selenite and I've combined the white quartz. If I wanted to bump it up another notch on a sunny day, I could take this outside right now and leave it in the sun. So now you've got selenite, white quartz, sunlight, all working in conjunction on these stones. Now you don't need the sunlight with this. Selenite is friggin' awesome stuff. This is enough. But you know me, I like to mod things and come up with stuff. So that right there is the simplest way. So you want to take it up a step further. This was like a little curiosity thing. You know, I've seen these things for as long as I've been alive. You know, just occasionally looking at this stuff. And I read a couple books on it, and it's definitely interesting, especially when you start reading things about, you know, theories about the Egyptian pyramids and stuff like that, and energy and pyramidal shapes and geometry and all that stuff. But I got this little 9-inch copper pyramid on Etsy, and it's got a plate that's got the flower of life symbol. If you don't know what that is, you know, go back a couple videos where I talk about the channel Spirit Science, and go watch the sacred geometry video. That'll blow your mind right there. But it's got that on it, and I've got some other stuff in there right now. I don't know why this works. I don't know what it's doing. I have no freaking clue. I'll tell you what it's not. It's not the devil. So let's get that out of the way right now. But I had to adjust. I used like my work sharpen a couple things because the height was just a little too much. But I've got something else in there right now. I got that moldavite in there. I'm charging that for a good 2 days before I play with it. But so now if I put it in there, I'm combining 4 things. So I got it in the selenite with the white quartz. White quartz is boosting the selenite. Then I can put it on flower of life, sacred geometry symbol, that's 3. Copper pyramid on top of it, that's 4. I could take it outside, put it in the sunlight, that's 5. And I haven't had to like whisper to the rock gods or the false idols or anything like that in order to do it. It's just metaphysical stuff is generally a mixture of different types of science that not everybody completely understands yet. or used to be understood a long time ago, but things changed, and first there's church and then there's science, and then everyone just like shoves that aside and they forget about it, and they're like, oh, I can't look at that, that's bad. But cycles, pendulum, always comes back. I can say, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that I notice a huge difference if I put my stuff using the selenite method. And if I double, triple, quadruple stack methods, I don't know why this thing works. It works. I've gone so far as to experiment with this, putting like my freaking energy shots in the pyramid for like a day. And then in the morning I'll grab it and take it, and I'm like, whoa, an energy shot. I mean, if you look around, there's all sorts of stuff you can do with it. So be creative, figure it out. Some people actually use these and they like put fruit in it, stuff like that. Supposedly it makes the fruit not go bad as fast. I haven't tried that, that's just what I read. So there's just a couple easy methods, and you don't have to run out and get a pyramid, you don't have to run out and do that. I would just say one of these, and get yourself a little piece of white quartz, and the sun is free, it comes out every single day, and try that. And then take another run at feeling the stones. Now there's two ways people can feel stones. There's two ways that you notice it. One is if you're energy sensitive, which not everybody is, and it does take practice over time. If you do something like Reiki, ooh, that opens up the sensitivity big time. Reiki's weird. Reiki energy is completely different than like what you can normally, like your body energy, like what I can normally push. It's completely different. It's very cool though. It's not the devil. Can you tell how much that annoys me? It really freaking annoys me. It's so silly. Well, let's just look at a couple other different methods here, just for the sake of it. Sunlight, selenite, pyramid. If you do the Reiki thing, you can use Reiki to charge the stones as well. So I've been experimenting with that. So put them in the selenite, put the quartz in there, put it in the pyramid, Reiki it, put it out in the sun, boom. I'm very experimental. I like playing with stuff. Another method that some people like, sound. There's a couple different ways that you can use sound to clear a stone with vibration and whatnot. One is a tuning fork. Now, what tuning fork, you ask? Well, I know people that use, it's like, I don't know, 512 hertz or something like that. It's very high. I chose 432 hertz. That is the golden mean. It's like universal ratio, something, something, something. I was like, that one kind of makes sense to me. I'm going to try that. So, again, multi-stacking. Put it in the selenite, add the quartz, put it on the sacred geometry tile, put it in the pyramid, hit it with the tuning fork, stack, 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 stack. Another one, and some of the stuff is partially just for decoration to make my office cool. I don't use this for that, but you could. I would probably need a better one of these because I'm just not really freaking good with it, and that's something like a Tibetan singing bowl. See if I can make this thing work. It's kind of a pain in the butt. Bigger ones are actually easier, but you get it going. See that skipping? That's what you try not to do. But I've seen some that are like, they've got like the hand forged ones and they got the crystal. I've seen people use the crystal singing bowls. It about made my skull split in half. The harmonics that they put off are just freaking insane. Me, I got it because it looked cool. But it's something that you could do. So, you know, with sound, this isn't something I read, but something that I tried. You know, you've heard of like the Om chant you know, a certain frequency and stuff like that, you know, is a big thing. And I was like, I got an idea. I've got this big crazy Harman Kardon Bluetooth speaker. So I have Amazon Prime, so I looked up on Amazon Music, and I found an ohm chant that was recorded at 432 hertz, same as my tuning fork. So I would put that in there and play that, you know, turn it on my phone, put it in there, close the door, and that track goes for like 30 minutes, and the whole house is just like, oh, and it's actually kind of creepy a little bit. If you try and meditate with it, you're gonna go places, but just the whole sound is. But there's something to it, obviously. I mean, that's why monks do it. They don't do it because they think it sounds cool. I mean, they can make fart noises with their armpit. You know, that's more fun. But obviously, there's something to it. So I tried that. But my rocks are kind of like my knives. My knives are always sharp. I keep my rocks always clean and charged, so it's really hard for me sometimes to notice the difference. Where did that go? Let me see if there's anything else on here. Another one. A lot of people do this. I don't. But I'm one of those people, I just like having stuff just in case. So I've done this once or twice back in the ghost hunting days. I don't know why this works either. I don't. But white sage smudging. It's a dried white sage bundle. You light it. It's kind of like incense. It starts to burn, you blow it out, it starts making this crazy smoke everywhere. And then you just kind of fan it over the stuff. People use it for houses. They smudge their houses when they move into it. It's supposed to clear out all the negative energy from the last people that lived there and any ghosts allegedly that might be there. Again, I have this. It's not really my thing, but it doesn't hurt to have it in a drawer. You never know. And then like some of the last methods would just be your own directed intention. Just focus on what you want, just clearing it. That's one of those ones where I think people have problems with. It's like, I don't know if I believe that. Well, if you don't think you believe it, skip it. Skip it. Stick to the simple stuff that you don't have to believe in, like the selenite. Selenite doesn't care if you believe in it or not. It's still going to do what it does. So that's a good thing. Even, simple methods that everybody's read if they've done any kind of research whatsoever, like putting it under water and anytime you talk about visualizing and stuff like that, people starting out are going to have problems with that. Sometimes even I do. That's not the method that clicks with me. To me, it's like I don't see it doing anything. For someone else, it might work great. For me, not so much. I see people say, put it in brown rice overnight. Put it outside in a full moon. The only time I've ever done the full moon thing is with my one really, really good Crystal Destinies pendant, because that's got the rainbow moonstone in it. And I have seen some anecdotal evidence firsthand, friends and stuff like that, the rainbow moonstone seems to have a bit more punch the fuller the moon gets. And it's specifically a type. It's called a moonstone, obviously. So they say if it's full moon and it's clear, set that out. So I did that last time, and it's kind of like, this is like the Labradorite used to be pretty intense for me. Now this with the rainbow moonstone in it, this is like what I wear to chill. It's also one of the coolest ones I got as far as looks. So there's a whole bunch of things you can research. You can probably come up with some of your own. And that's something that I do believe. But then we're going into a much bigger area if we try to tackle that. But if you put it this way, if you honestly, truly believed that you could take a crystal and put it between two through-night 18650s and that would clear and charge it, it would probably clear and charge it. And people get that confused with placebo and this and that. It's a weird world. Analogy I've been using a lot lately when it comes to this stuff is the comic book character Green Lantern. He's got that ring, and everything he creates is through his imagination and his will, and it becomes something that he can smack around bad guys with. Stuff like this kind of goes along with that. I mean, if you really do believe in something, you will see results. And sometimes you'll see results if you don't believe in it. But if what you believe is that it's bullshit, then that's the result you're probably going to see. That is BS. And that's why I say, if you're that person, why are you still here? It's not going to get any better. But, so why do I keep subjecting myself to that scrutiny? I could be over on my other channel, being all Mr. Fun Guy, we're all getting along. It's because there's people out there, a small portion of people, that are looking for this stuff. And they know it intuitively. They've just got this kind of feeling in the back of their head. It's like Neo in the Matrix. It's like there's something there. I feel it. I don't know what it is. And sometimes when you tell them about the basic things, it either plants a seed or it puts a key in a lock or something happens. And it just gives them that one extra little step to kind of go a little bit further with their thinking or their experience or whatnot. Maybe it's a synchronicity. Maybe they were just reading about this and they stumbled across this video. It doesn't matter. But even though those are like a small percentage of the people that I usually talk to with my other channel, those people matter because it's exponential. There's studies. There's things that I could literally spend 12 hours trying to explain to you. Things that have been done. Studies where they take a certain percentage of people, like 200 people, to a place where there's all this war and violence and stuff going on, and they fly them in there, and for like so many days, all they do is meditate, and they meditate on just peace and everybody getting along. And then all that violence and all that crap just drops by 70, 80%. A couple people can have a big difference. And it's worth dealing with the nonsensical comments and the attacks and the people that I offend their beliefs, but yet they're still on my channel, still watching me. It's worth putting up with that. Because there's no evil here. There's no devils here. Nobody's worshiping rocks. It's a big world out there. Just open your eyes a little bit. You have no idea what you could be missing. I make a living on freaking YouTube. I get pretty much anything I need. Anything that I really truly need comes to me. It's not because I signed a deal with the devil. It's because I learned, I got better, I followed simple universal principles and laws, and I learned about this stuff. And I'm constantly working on myself and constantly making myself better. And that puts me more in tune with everything, and things just get easier. And when you have that much luck or success with something, is it right to keep it to yourself? I'm not selling you a book. There's no ads playing on this channel. Have you seen an ad pop up yet? No. I'm sharing information for the people that want to know it. Plain and simple. So go ahead and try that selenite candle holder trick. If you can't find one of those, just get the biggest piece of selenite you can find. The Crystal Guy, crystalguy.com. His email is crystalguy@thecrystalguy.com. They've got those candle things. They've got flat selenite pieces. You can set stuff up. They got freaking pieces of selenite that you could literally like crack a skull with. Like $17. That those big things. You put a couple things on that, it'll do the same thing. I just like the idea of the candle holders and just dropping them in there, and it's surrounded by it. And it just, to me, it makes sense. That's why I do it that way. I guarantee you, if you try that, you should notice a big difference in your stones. All right, that's all for today. See you next time.